Alright, Six Flags Great America just released their 2025 roller coaster, and Lord and behold, it is a B&M dive coaster by the name of Wrath of Rakshasa, Rockefeller. Oh my freaking god, I can't take these roller coaster names nowadays, they're so fucking stupid! So yeah, Six Flags Great America, they're getting a ride by the name of Wrath of
Rakshasa.
And if I had to tell you the truth about my true opinions on this ride, it's a little negative. To splash the cold water in your face, I'm just going to tell you that I did not want a dive coaster to go to Great America. This isn't the ride I really wanted my home park to get. And yeah, small violins all around, I know. Dive coasters, they've always been a one-trick pony. That's kind of the joke in the coaster community, that after the first drop, there's not much to the ride. And unfortunately, I have to agree with that statement. I've ridden Griffin, I've ridden Shikra, I've ridden Valraven. All those rides, yeah, sure, they're fun, but besides the first drop, I don't really care about the rest of the layout. It's always the same or it feels a bit uninspired. But even if we ignore my opinion, I still have to ask the question, is a dive coaster the right fit for Great America? Sadly, I don't think so. Great America, they have a very peculiar situation. They have a lot of good rides, and they have a very diverse collection of roller coasters. And when I say diverse, I mean it's really hard to see what the park needs in terms of a new roller coaster because Six Flags Great America, they kind of have their finger in every pie. If you want a hyper coaster, they got it. A launch coaster? Yep. Wing coaster, 4D, check. Wooden coaster, check, and check. Their collection is definitely along the upper echelon of parks. So when building a new ride, it's kind of hard to decide on what to get. Because whatever they get, it has to stand out, it has to be unique, and it can't match what they already own. Does a dive coaster meet this criteria? Kind of. I guess you can say it's diverse enough because it has a 96-degree drop, which, hey, I will give to Wrath of Rakshasa. I love that they're trying to break the record for the steepest dive coaster. It's falling into that same league of Dr. Diabolical and Iron Menace. But other than that, I'm just gonna say it. The rest of the layout, it's just okay. Because when you really observe Rakshasa, it's not that remarkable. Like, just look at the layout. Right after the 96-degree drop, it goes into an Immelman. Alright, very standard. Every freaking dive coaster does this element. And then after the Immelman, it goes straight into a dive loop, which is just the reverse of an Immelman. And then, right after, no joke, it does 3 back-to-back 0G rolls. Why? You can try to argue that there's some variation in these elements. I mean, this one kind of looks like a step-up underflip, but let's just call it like it is. They're all just 0G rolls. Six Flags Great America, they really wanted to go for that record-breaking 5 inversions on a dive coaster, which, you know, may sound good on paper, but it's not a unique record. You know what else has 5 inversions? 3 roller coasters at the exact same park. X-Flight, Batman, Max Force, they all got 5 inversions. So this isn't really bringing anything new to the table. And they're repeating the 0G roll 3 times in a row. Now, why did they even do this? I think it's more because they had a lack of space. Rakshasa takes up a very compact spot of land. It's primarily in the old location of their Buccaneer Battle water ride, and then a little bit by Demon and where their old park cemetery used to be. So this is a very compact ride. I will commemorate Six Flags Great America for fitting it here, but because they did put it in a compact space, it appears they did have to sacrifice a bit of their creative integrity by just hitting copy paste. But besides that nitpick, let's start looking at the stats. So the ride, it has a height of 180 feet. And a drop of 171 feet, which I can get behind. I am happy that this dive coaster is taller than some of the other ones we've seen the last few years. Parks, they've been on a trend of getting more mini dive coasters. Is there a reason for that? It's probably to save money. So Great America, let me take the time to applaud you. I'm happy you didn't go into that pitfall and are opting for a more taller dive coaster. It still may not be in that higher class of dive coasters where it's over 200 feet, but I will still congratulate you on this. 180 feet is still an impressive number. It's going to have a max speed of 67 miles per hour and a length of 3,239 feet. To put the length in perspective, if we compare Rakshasa to a ride like Griffin, that ride is only 3,108 feet. So yes, Rakshasa is going to be a longer dive coaster, and it's not going to have a mid-course brake run. So even though we're not going to get that second dive, it's going to be relentless start to finish with no breaks in between, which is a better move. It'll definitely help with the one-trick pony syndrome. Hopefully when you hit the brake run, you will try to catch your breath a bit and hopefully get a little bit of a head rush since you're doing 5 inversions back to back. Another thing to keep in mind, the trains will have 3 rows, 7 seats across, so it will be the same as Dr. Diabolical's cliffhanger. And as usual, it will have the vest restraints. Now, I'm hoping these vest restraints aren't the same as X-Flight in the park, because those are the worst vest restraints on any B&M coaster, and I will stand by that till the day I die. Because those ones, not only do the vests come down on you, but they also lock in place to a point where you can absolutely not move. It is one of the most restricting restraints. It's worse on this ride than any other B&M. And I am really hoping that it's not going to be the same case on this ride, because if it is, it will completely ruin the coaster. It's the main reason why I don't like riding X-Flight anymore. So I hope Great America and B&M will be better with this ride, because if it's the same as X-Flight, I'm not going to enjoy it. But to conclude, that's the entire experience of Rakshasa. All in all, I'm still a little let down that Great America got a dive coaster. I know this ride, it's going to be fun. It is going to be a crowd pleaser. That's the main reason they built this coaster. But I still can't shake the fact that I would rather see something else at this park. For a while, I thought Great America was going to get an RMC Raptor. I assume that would have been the better option, because despite all the roller coasters Great America has in their collection, none of their rides actually stand out as an ultra elite high thrill coaster, something where people will come all the way across the country to enjoy. Sure, they have a good top 3 of Goliath, Max Force, and Raging Bull, but even those rides, they're still not the top of their class. Goliath is constantly looked down upon as one of the lower RMC coasters. Max Force, it's a shorter ride. Raging Bull, besides the first drop and a few moments of airtime, it's a hyper twister coaster, so it's kind of meandering around a bit. I would never call these coasters anything above supporting. And that goes for most rides at Great America as well. They're great supporting coasters. I know that may sound harsh, but that's just my take. And my opinion will not change with this ride either. It's another supporting coaster in a sea of supporting coasters. Great America, they should have tried something else. However, if they did, it probably wouldn't be where Rakshasa is. Again, it's taking up the spot by Buccaneer Battle. I'm still impressed they were able to fit this ride, but maybe if they also took up the land where the go-kart track is, or heck, even just tore down the Demon and combined that spot of land, there could have been space for an even bigger roller coaster. But who knows, after this ride, maybe down the line, we will get that elite coaster one day. Maybe they were saving Demon Spot for something else, because I do see that ride leaving one day. It just sits on a very valuable plot of land. Great America, they are a landlocked park, and they have little room left to expand, so it's only fitting. But with that being said, that is the wrath of Rakshasa. Even if I had a negative tone towards this roller coaster, I will still ride it in 2026. And yes, I do mean 2026. There is no way they are getting this ride open next year. The Flash and Georgia Surfer got delayed a year, and Great America doesn't even have a good track record of getting the rides open on time. Max Force and Goliath, both of those opened in July, and they weren't even open complete. Max Force, I remember they were still building the station and queue when that thing opened. And seeing as how this ride hasn't even broken ground yet, they just demolished Buccaneer Battle, there is no shot they're getting this open by the 2025 season. Just you wait and see.